Hi, I'm Theo. And I like big files. I think big files get way too much crap. Most engineers that I've experienced are really eager to break their files up into smaller pieces so they can hide the complexity away when they don't want to look at it. And that's the problem I have. They're hiding the complexity, they're not solving it. And more often than not, I've found that keeping your complexity in one file often makes it less complex. It's much easier to work with and see every single piece. It is not just me who thinks this. I've been surprised at how many developers feel this way. There's a great take here by Dan Abramov around how much he likes starting with a single file for his apps until he has dozens of different components. In other frameworks like Svelte or Vue, there's a concept of an SFC, a single file component, which forces you by the design of the framework to contain all components within a single file, where just by making a file, you've now made a component. And if you want a component to be able to mount another component, you have to make another file. I don't like that separation. One of the cool things about React is that it is just JavaScript, which although JSX is a syntax that's not traditional JavaScript, it does work in JavaScript files. And since React lets you just define components as variables, you don't have to break your files up based on the framework maintainer's decisions. You have to break them up how you choose or how Next.js decided. That we'll go down that rabbit hole another time. Regardless, the thing that was exciting for me about React and about takes like this is that I can choose when my complexity grows. I work on my application, I put things in components, I keep them in the same file. I'll often have 3 to 10 components in a file. The only time I break a component out of a file is when other files need that component. And I don't break it down in the first place until things get truly out of hand, which is usually thousands of lines and dozens of components in. Generally, I find people try to prescribe file structure and ways of assembling their applications way too early, and they'll aggressively try to organize things that don't need to be organized. Generally, I don't look at my file structure too much. I tend to use Command-Shift-F and hotkeys to find my way to the data that I'm looking for and the functionality that I changed. And if I don't have to switch files to do that, it tends to be a better experience. Don't be scared of big files. It's one of the cool things that React and all the tooling that we use today allows us to be efficient with. Big files aren't that scary. Try it out. Your next time you build an app, don't break it up immediately. Keep it in one file and see how it goes. You might be surprised.